On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony solves a murder, Shannon goes to Florida, and Ethan returns to the haunted forest. We talk about the week's biggest news and answer your questions. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, sir?
Sorry, I got slightly distracted because Facebook, I had a message show up right as we started.
Perfect timing.
I know, and it's not from a usual person. Let's see.
Well, did you survive Halloween?
I did. I did.
Well, that's good.
I may have angered two people in the process, but
oh no,
it was hilarious.
Angering people is hilarious. Okay.
Well, I have a little fake rat that I've been keeping at work for a number of years, and I decided to bring him home, and before I took him out of work, I tossed it into someone's purse.
Oh.
She was looking at me. She didn't acknowledge what happened, so when I went to retrieve it from her purse, she screamed.
Because you were getting in her purse, or because there was a rat in her purse?
Because there's a rat in the purse.
Okay. I was just like, screaming at you because you're getting into her purse is justified too, I guess.
Well, the tail was sticking out. It was obvious. It's like, I don't want her to be going down the road, look over at her purse, scream, and wreck into everything.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad.
So if anything, she should have been thanking me for not doing that instead of screaming at me.
Maybe that's how she was thanking you, was by screaming at you.
So then, I have it with me, and well, I left it on my parents' front porch, and my mom sits on the front porch and gives out candy, and she was sitting next to it, didn't realize it was there. Someone came by with a couple of kids, and like, oh, I like your little mouse right there. And it's the whole process all over again.
Oh, man. Good old Halloween prank.
I mean, I wasn't even that one wasn't a prank. I forgot about it.
Well, also joining us this week, Ethan, we have Shannon.
Hello.
Did you survive Halloween?
Yeah, we didn't do the normal thing this year. Like, no trick-or-treating, no, no running down the street scaring folks.
Yeah. Yeah, our Halloween pretty much consisted of go to trunk or treat at church, go to the in-laws' house really quickly, and then we came home to play Luigi's Mansion for the rest of the night.
That sounds like a pretty good night.
I think so.
Pretty cool.
I think so.
Yeah, I was kind of told take a vacation or lose a vacation, so I chose to take a vacation.
That's probably the best choice.
Yeah. So we took a cheap flight down to Orlando and went to go visit some family, and in the process we did like the whole Halloween fest that happened at the resort that we stayed at.
Yeah. Which
was kind of lame, but Travis had fun, so that's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly. If you go on vacation, if the kids have fun, that's what matters the most.
Absolutely.
So, well, did you have a chance to play anything while you were on vacation?
I did. So I am a big fan of no notifications, no nonsense while I'm on vacation. So I tend, for the last year and a half, what I typically do is I will move my SIM card from my iPhone to a Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
Which is the re-release of the 3310, not the old black and white brick phone with Snake, but like the newer color screen phone with Snake.
Okay. So you get to play Snake in color instead of green and black like on a Game Boy screen.
Exactly. I mean, they made an update in 2017. Nokia put out the 3310 with 3G. Woohoo!
Ooh.
I know. But it helps avoid all of the, hey, there's a thing on Twitter. Hey, friends in line. Hey, you got this other message from work. Oh, hey, you got this email. I don't have to worry about it. Just a week with no nonsense, and the only people that I really see come through are the ones that I have saved in my contacts on that phone. So
Yeah.
But before heading down, I added some Flash mobile games to that phone because everybody loves a good old Flash flip phone game. And one of those games was Super Monkey Ball Tip and Tilt.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, you guys ever heard of this?
It's been a while, but yes.
So, Super Monkey Ball Tip and Tilt is like Seesaw Ball, which was like a mini game from Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. I have no idea if it is in the new remake of Banana Blitz that has come out. So, but that it's basically you have your monkey in the ball that drops at the very top, and you are tilting these seesaws to try and collect bananas and get to the goal. It's Super Monkey Ball in 2D fashion, like vertical, kind of like pachinko. You're kind of like playing pachinko with monkeys, and that's probably why I liked it a whole lot. That's basically what it is.
Pachinko.
With monkey. And seesaws. And
I'm just
bananas.
taking pachinko out of it. That's because I know you well enough to just know what your catching point is on this.
That's kind of what it is. I mean, you're using just the left and right on the phone directional pad to tilt each one of these platforms, and you have direct control over whatever platform the ball is currently touching. Your monkey and a ball is currently touching. So, there weren't a whole lot of stages. I want to say there were 3 difficulties, and each difficulty had like maybe 10 or 15 stages. Not a whole lot to the game, but it was still pretty fun.
To be fair, games on phones like that were not, super deep experiences.
Yeah, that's true. Except for Metal Gear Acid.
Now that's a gaming experience on mobile.
If you want to talk about another mobile game that I put on this Nokia, because I forgot that Metal Gear Acid was a thing until I was like, ooh, Metal Gear Acid is in this list of games that are compatible with this phone, so let's give it a shot. But yeah, I mean, that was the majority of my video game time was playing these. I brought the Switch. I tried to get Travis on the plane to sit down and play Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, whatever Wii U port thingamajig. But he wasn't having it. Like I had it all propped up on the little tray in front of us, and I was like, all right, let's play this. And he's like, no, I want my tablet. I'm like, all right.
I'd rather play Roblox.
No, he didn't want to play Roblox. He wanted to watch what's the I'm gonna be the bad parent who can't remember the show that his son likes.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, let's just say SpongeBob. Totally wasn't SpongeBob. It was something else, and I'm blanking right now. Captain Underpants.
Hey.
Yeah. He's been hooked in that Netflix Captain Underpants series. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah, the hottest of hot releases from
Captain
2007
and Monkey Ball.
Super Monkey Ball Tip and Tilt.
I've tried to get Andrew to watch Captain Underpants, and he's watched about half an episode.
It's entirely my fault because I knew when the movie came out, I'm like, okay, Travis is going to appreciate this. So I got him to watch it, and then I tried explaining to him that Daddy read these books when he was a kid in school, and then it went from books to, oh hey, there's a show on Netflix, and now that's all he wants to watch. So
Yeah. Is it CG or is it animated, like cartoon? Because I've seen a couple different ones on.
I think it's just a cartoon. I think it's 2D. It looks hand drawn, but it's probably got a lot of computer work to it.
Yeah.
I think the movie was just entirely CG. The other stuff's all kind of a 2D computerized stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, what about you, Ethan? What have you been playing?
Stop me if you heard this one. Destiny 2.
Stop.
Okay. So, Tony, what have you been playing?
Destiny. No, I have not been playing Destiny.
Destiny 2 has been doing their Festival of the Lost, so I'm kind of all in on that right now. And I got the curated gun that they have that you get for just this event and only at this event, so that's a thing. Got the one last year too. That one was called the Horror Story. It was an alright weapon. This time it's the gun's called the Braytech Werewolf, I think is what it was. And it's a black gun with kind of a blue skeletal design painted on there that glows. So yeah, that's the big thing this year. It's super easy to get. But you get to go around wearing Halloween masks again, killing things, get candy, get other candy. You know, it's very Halloween based. And they brought back the infinite forest for this event as the haunted forest once again. And it's basically the same as last year in that forest type of stuff. It's might be a little harder to see in there. I'm not really sure. It's because they reused that again for another event, but it was all bright and you could see. So they've had some time to make adjustments based on feedback, I'm sure. Along with this Halloween event, they opened up the Pit, which is a dungeon on the moon for other stuff to do, and it just happens to coincide with the event or happen to release the same time as the event, so it should be sticking around for a while. And that's what me, Stuart, and Cole have all been working on. And we got to the last boss on there, and I sent Shannon a comic earlier about raid mechanics, and we are certainly learning raid mechanics on the fly without looking at or doing our best to not look things up. Stuart may have looked stuff up and told us how to do things. I'm not really sure, but the last boss on there, it's really putting everything we've learned to the test. And then some, because there's stuff we didn't learn, and oh crap, what's his name? Zolmak is the boss on this one. He's just a giant hive knight, and he's got like fire burning within him, so you can see these cracks all over his skin. It's all red and fire-like on him, so it's pretty cool. He's very similar in design to Crota, the raid boss from Destiny 1. So Cole has deemed him Spicy Crota. And he handles a lot like Crota, he just hits with the sword and does some stuff like that. And is invincible until you do a set thing to make him take damage. The weird mechanic we had to learn was you have to take out the 3 specific bosses with swords, and then you take your sword, or you take the orb they drop, spike it in the thing to unlock another thing. Then someone with a sword does a necrotic sword beam or something at the soul crystal in the center, because why not? And it starts glowing like crazy, and you have to get inside the glow range, which is range for the boss to hit you as well. And that's the only way to do damage to him, is while you're in that green light, which will then eventually he'll eventually absorb the light and then attack, and it kills anything within the immediate vicinity of him. Or the crystal, I guess. So we learned that the hard way. And then we almost had him defeated, and suffered the same fate as learning the first time. So yeah, Destiny 2, Festival of the Lost 2019 is a fun experience, and yeah, that.
It's a romping good time.
Sure, well, yeah, we can go with that. Let's see. They did introduce some new ghost shells. One of them's a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern, and another one's a bat. So that's pretty cool. And they made the sparrow broom. It made its triumphant return. I think Destiny 1 is where it first showed up, and it was like a temporary sparrow that you had just for the event. So now it's a permanent one. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. That is it from me, because I didn't want to take something away from Tony to talk about that he's not talking about.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the game this week.
The game.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people expecting me to talk about Luigi's Mansion, but I haven't really played enough of it to say I can talk about it, other than the first 2 hours of the game are fantastic. But no, I figured I would take the time to talk about a different game that I have been playing that is equally phenomenal, and that is a new game from the developers of Snipper Clips called Tangle Tower.
Tangled Tower?
Tangle Tower. This is a game, it was first available on Apple TV, or the Apple Arcade, and then it also came to Switch shortly. And it is a murder mystery. It's like a point-and-click style adventure murder mystery. And it is the second in a series called the Detective Grimoire series. You play as Detective Grimoire.
Okay.
And you go to this island where these two families live in this house, and there's a central sort of portion of the house, and then there are two towers on each side. There's a tower for one family that is called the Fellow family, and then another tower that is for another family whose name I cannot remember right off the top of my head. Starts with a P. Don't remember what it is.
the Pattersons.
No, not the Pattersons. And what has happened is one of the family members has been murdered, and they've called you to come in and investigate. And so you have to go around exploring the island, interrogating all of the family members on both sides. There is another detective who has shown up at the same time, who has been hired by another family member, but they will not tell you who that family member is or what exactly they are investigating. So, and they also like to make snide comments about your ability as a detective if you talk to them at any point and show them things that you think are pieces of evidence in the case that you're working on, and they'll be like, "That's just a shoe. It's not a piece of evidence." Are you actually a detective? Is one of the lines that was spoken to me at one point.
Could you answer no?
No, unfortunately.
Darn it.
So, as you go along, you talk to all the people, and everybody has comments about all of the other people. So not only are you finding pieces of evidence, you're actually going and investigating and talking to them and getting their thoughts on the other family members and who they think might have done it, so on and so forth. You'll find, and then towards the end of this investigation, it's like 6 hours long, the game is, and then you're starting to get to the end because there are 4 different sections for the investigation for each character. There's them themselves, then you ask about the other characters, you ask about all of the different pieces of evidence you find, and then there's a category called suspicions. And as you get to the end of the story, you start to put the pieces together, and then you'll find a particular item in the world, and a message will come up, and it'll be like, this item from this one person looks suspicious, very suspicious. And then it'll go into a cutscene where you talk to that family member about that item, and you start to put all the pieces of the investigation together. I guessed the wrong person. I did not see the twist coming at the end of the story.
Oh no.
I had one particular person in mind that I thought really had done it, and it turned out that that person hadn't done it at all. It is such a good game. It is so clever. The writing is really, really well done. It's funny. It's a murder mystery that is much more on the lighter side of that. It's not like a super serious investigation. I guess it sort of has some sort of Ace Attorney style vibes to it, where I've never really played any of those games, so I don't know how seriously they take themselves.
Let's just say at one point you, in the first game, you call a parrot to the witness stand.
Great. So they take themselves very seriously.
Oh, they do, but they don't. But they do.
Well, okay. So yeah, it is, and it has numerous different types of controls. You can use the touchscreen. You can use an actual controller. You can use a Joy-Con and just use it like a pointer. So you can actually do point and click style navigation around the environments. I want to say it's $20, I think. But I loved this game from beginning to end. I started to play it, and then a couple of the kids walked into the room, and they started watching me play, and I was not allowed to finish the story without them. So we powered through this game in 2 nights to see how the story ended and who was responsible for the murder of Freya Fellow was the murder victim's name. Everybody has sort of alliterative names, so all of the Fellows family they start with F, and all of the other family, their initials are PP. So,
Well,
yeah, and the art style. What is the best way to describe it? I don't know anything that I can compare it to. So yeah, I'm trying to think of I know another game that I'm thinking of, but I don't remember what it is. But it's all 2D hand drawn sort of art. It looks really good. The Snipper Clips developers did a very good job with this game. And for 6 hours, it's not going to take you very long. It's about like reading through a book. So, highly, highly recommend Tangle Tower, whether you're playing it on Apple Arcade or the Switch. Don't think it's on any other systems yet. So, go ahead and check that game out, because I think you'd probably really enjoy it.
Tangle Tower.
Tangle Tower.
I think I spelled it wrong. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure how to describe that art style either. But if you played Snipper Clips, you will recognize it.
Yeah, you definitely will.
Also, if you're a fan of... Oh, no. That's... He doesn't do that for those old videos. Never mind. Ignore what I'm trying to say.
So yeah, but that's what I have been playing this week. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find the first game in the series. I think it's just on PC. I want to say it's like a Newgrounds title. That's where they put out the first game.
They did get their start on Newgrounds, as far as I can remember, because I used to watch their what was it, Super Helix Bros, I think is the name that they went by on there for their Flash titles. And they also did the Decline of Video Games series, which I love watching those videos. I think there's like 3, maybe 4 episodes, and that's it.
It looks like I pulled up the original game. The original game is just called Detective Grimoire. It was released back in 2014. It was actually on iOS, and then it later came to PC and Android. So I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find that game, because I loved this game. I would love to see this become sort of a series for them, and have a new game come out once a year or so. The original game, back in 2014, and
Okay.
It is on Android, so I can check that out on my phone. So but that is what I have been playing. So let's take a quick break. We will come back and we will talk about the news. So, news happened this week. BlizzCon happened this week.
Indeed, it happened.
There were lots of protests outside of BlizzCon. Probably some inside of BlizzCon as well, if I had to wager a guess.
Some great cosplay as Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh cosplay happened, as expected. So yeah, amongst all of the fun stuff, there was some Blizzard game announcements that happened.
Well, I would hope so, because they got to have something to show, right?
They didn't want to just come up. They didn't want to just be, BlizzCon have to be the apology show. They wanted to actually show some games. The Blizzard president did get on stage and apologize for all the Hearthstone stuff. Some people said, okay, yeah, cool. A lot of people said, no, still not good enough.
Well, of course. I mean, the internet's going to be the internet.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can apologize for something that you did that was kind of crappy all you want. Internet never forgets until it forgets.
That's true.
But it doesn't forget.
And Blizzard tried their hardest to make people forget by announcing some games.
Before we start, I do have to say they did one good thing by not not mentioning something at all.
Okay.
And they didn't mention, I know for opening ceremonies they didn't mention it, but Diablo Immortal was not talked about.
I don't know if ceremony. Is that ever actually going to be a thing?
It might be. I don't know. They probably quickly started rethinking it after the very disapproving crowd.
Yeah, the backlash to Diablo Immortal was
immediate. It was immediate.
Yeah, it was very immediate and very loud.
Like just booing, and then one of the guys on stage, "Don't you guys have smartphones?" Oh man, it's like, yeah, don't you guys make video games?
So, announcements. Overwatch. Not surprising to many people, Overwatch 2 was announced.
Is it really Overwatch 2 though? I mean,
it's really Overwatch 1.5. They're calling it Overwatch 2. There's going to be content in this that's not available in Overwatch. So, in that respect, yeah, it sort of is Overwatch 2. Because they are going to be adding some co-op PvE type stuff. They said the sequel will focus a lot on co-op and PvE, in addition to the current PvP stuff that is in the game already. And there was a trailer that showed off some of it. Well, it was a cinematic trailer, really, more than anything, that showed off some characters, some returning characters, sort of hinted and tried to put an emphasis on, this is going to be PvE stuff. And so you saw the characters fighting against a giant robot and then, an army of smaller robots.
Did it show like a heist thing? There was one of the things I saw was a heist. I'm not sure if that was from one of the original things in the game that's out right now.
No, there wasn't anything like that. This was just the characters coming in. They flew into Paris and landed. They started to fight the army of smaller robots, and then were surprised by a giant robot that came out from behind a building.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was multiple things they showed, because I did see like a heist thing being done somewhere in that game, a 4-person heist.
Yeah, so there wasn't anything like that in there.
Okay.
They did say all of your skins, any cosmetic stuff that you've earned in the first game will carry over to the sequel, so you won't lose anything.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it really is. The question's going to be, well, I guess you probably wouldn't want to be going back to Overwatch 1 if you're playing Overwatch 2. What, if anything, how that's going to work between the two games, where if one person is playing Overwatch 1, can you play against people PvP? I'm assuming you still will be able to. That's the way I was understanding things over the weekend, was that you can play the PvP stuff regardless of which version you're playing. And I'm wondering how that's going to work, where if you've got stuff that you've earned in Overwatch 2, will the people that are playing the first game be able to see all that stuff?
Cosmetic wise, probably, I'm guessing. But I don't know. There's a certain cap that they'll hit in there at some point and just stop supporting original and just stay on the future stuff coming out.
They also did show off the first new hero, who was named Sojourn. The only thing we know about this character is that it's a girl and she is Canadian. That's it.
Overwatch adding waifus since 2016?
That sounds right. I've never actually played Overwatch aside from the beta on PS4 right before it came out. So
I've never played it at all. I just
don't know a lot about Overwatch. Other than there's a gorilla named Winston and Tracer wears glasses.
And there's a hamster and a ball.
There is. See, I didn't even know that.
Now you do.
So I learned something
It's a hamster with like a mech ball or something. It's weird.
Okay.
Wouldn't say that on a stealth heist.
Oh, and I know May freezes things. So there you go. That is the extent of my Overwatch knowledge. And the other worst kept secret on the planet. This was sort of leaked ahead of time with an art book for Diablo that went on sale. Diablo 4 was announced, and there was a cinematic trailer shown off for that in its full bloody glory. It was insane, the amount of blood that was in that trailer.
Lots and lots and lots.
You saw, and it was just a cinematic trailer as well. There was no gameplay shown off. You saw a group of guys walking into a dungeon. There was a door that was locked. They needed to figure out how to open the door, and you needed the blood from 3 different people that were willing to give their blood to open the door. They opened the door. Bad things happened at that point. Demons were summoned. There was some...
I mean, how do you summon your demons? I mean, you put them behind a door, and then you have to have like the blood of 5 or 6 people.
Root beer, actually, is how I
root beer.
Demons. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, you use that to defeat Ghost Pirate LeChuck, so...
Those scary root beer demons, that's what I have to deal with. Yeah. If you like Diablo, you're probably going to like this one, just saying. But we don't know anything really about it. All that was shown off was the cinematic trailer. The one detail I have heard since then is that there will be no offline mode. You will always be connected to the internet, and you'll have to be online to play.
Well, it's better to play together to defeat demons.
That's probably true. You don't want to go fighting demons alone. World of Warcraft's new expansion was announced.
Oh my gosh, how are they still supporting that game?
This expansion is called Shadowlands. It will come out in 2020. And this is a realm of death and decay where you fight against Sylvanas.
Really? I could have sworn I've played that expansion before.
Yeah, that was the Lich King.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
so
part of Cataclysm, too. I don't know. It's been a while.
They're redoing Lich King.
And they're charging people for it again.
Yeah. This is a new. This is like Lich King 2. It's Lich King the sequel.
Lich King 2, the sequel.
Lich King 2, the sequel.
Well, I mean, technically, there is a second Lich King on the throne.
There is a new. What is the? Do you know the current level cap?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I haven't played in years because I had video games to play.
The only details I'm seeing are what they call a squished level cap of 60. No idea what a squished level.
They are completely rethinking level design right now, and I read like the first sentence on that, and I said, no understanding happening here.
Okay. Yeah, and then there is a new in-game dungeon that they're saying is basically a self-contained roguelike dungeon.
Oh, those are always fun. Keeps the game fresh.
Yeah, you'll be able to just continue to go back into that dungeon over and over and over again. WoW Classic will be getting an update on November 12th.
That's against the rules.
So,
man, wait till they get to the expansions.
Wait till they get to the Lich King.
Oh gosh.
Let's see. What is going to be in this classic PvP stuff?
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, it technically already had that, but
Yeah, so there'll be more PvP stuff, and then some more content for players who want to play their World of Warcraft from 20 years ago. Instead of, today's version of World of Warcraft.
the real man's version.
Is there a good place to start? Like, I've never played World of Warcraft.
Just don't.
Okay.
That's your best bet right there. Just don't.
The best place to start is by not starting.
All right.
Now, if you ever decide to play Final Fantasy 14, let me know. And if you ever decide to return to Destiny 2, let me know.
All right.
I know a guy.
No, the last MMO I played and actually paid any money for was EverQuest. So it's been a very long time since I have played an MMO.
Not EverQuest.
So, let's see. Hearthstone is getting a new expansion called Descent of Dragons. It'll have cards that have dragons on them. And a new mode called Battlegrounds.
Okay.
Uh,
Did it say anything about how Battlegrounds works?
No, other than that it's inspired by the auto battle genre, whatever that is.
Oh. Okay.
Beta starts soon, so you'll be able to get in on that if you want to. If you want to add some dragons to your Hearthstone decks. And they did say Diablo Immortal is still in development, but they would not give any more information about when you would be able to play that.
You're killing the terminus, trying to cut us off.
So, there you go. That is the news coming out of BlizzCon.
There were
So,
there were people protesting outside the event.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't hear too much about it. That's why I'm not talking too much about it.
I saw a few people holding up signs. I didn't really.
There was Hong Kong flags being flown around and shirts being given out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I heard. Also, there was like some truck driving around with like a digital sign on the back. Oh man.
Yeah, Blizzard fans were going to let the company know they're not very happy with them at the moment. So, if you like Undertale, this was a good week for you.
Yeah.
It's a good week for Toby Fox.
It was a good week for Toby Fox, and if you like listening to not Undertale music, but music written by Toby Fox,
which is all Undertale music, yeah.
Yeah. So, Undertale made an appearance on All Elite Wrestling this week. They had their Halloween show on October 30th, where some of the wrestlers came out dressed up as, various things throughout, pop culture. Rick and Morty made an appearance.
Nice.
Cool.
Some other people. But Kenny Omega, who is one of the bigger names for All Elite Wrestling, is very well known for adding video game themed content to his entrances over in Japan, where he had been wrestling for the last few years. He had a little mini sort of cutscene that showed up on their big screen that was inspired by Undertale, where it talked about some of his friends in the company leaving him and wanting to know if it felt bad to be alone. Very sort of Undertale style. And then the logo for if you know New Japan Pro Wrestling, it was very obvious that it was their logo. And then somebody threw a sock at it, like a pixelated version of a sock, and then the Sans sort of sound effects for text started appearing on the screen.
Oh gosh. I can actually hear that happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then he asked if Kenny minded if he tagged in, and it went to yes, and Megalovania started playing.
That's pretty good.
And Kenny Omega came out to the ring dressed like Sans.
There were no survivors.
Like had a Sans mask, a big blue puffy coat, some pink slippers on his feet.
Such attention to detail.
Oh, he goes. If you've seen some of his interests in the past, he goes very over the top with his video game themed stuff and very detailed. So it's not surprising that he put a lot of work into this Undertale entrance. And then, of course, once he got to the ring, he took off the Sans mask and took off all of the Undertale stuff and wrestled the way he always, in his regular wrestling gear.
I mean, if he was real man, he'd just do it with the stuff on still, but he's got to have some respect,
So, no, Sans did not wrestle, unfortunately. So there you go. You can go to YouTube and check that out. It's like a 2-minute long clip if you want to see the whole thing. And then it was announced this week that Toby Fox is doing a song in the upcoming Pokemon game.
That's cool.
And there's a little clip of this that's available on YouTube as well if you want to hear this. It's really good. Like it sounds... It does a really good job of sounding both like a Pokemon song and an Undertale song at the same time. So, if you are a fan of Toby Fox, lots of good news this week for Toby Fox fans. Let's see. And then lastly, the games for PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold were announced this week.
All right.
One game on PlayStation Plus that I definitely want to play. One I know I will
Outlast
never
2.
ever play. No, Outlast 2 is one of them. We'll never play that game. And
unless you donate, $20 right now.
Extra Life is going on as we speak, so it's too late for that. And the other game is
Let me get on PayPal. I'll fix that issue right here, right now.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Sounds like Peter's talk.
Nio is the other game.
Is it Nio or Neo?
Neo, whichever way you pronounce it.
Nioh.
Yes.
Oh geez, what company is this one? Namco? Or Team Ninja?
I have
it's
no
it's
clue.
the other Dark Souls game not made by
It's Team Ninja.
it's the Team Ninja Dark Souls game.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
Team Ninja. This one I'm actually really interested in checking out. So, there you go. Those are your 2 PlayStation Plus games. Microsoft, not Nintendo. Nintendo did not announce games with gold. That would be a twist.
Oh wait, Dark Souls is already by Namco Bandai. Okay, so I was guessing the right one with the wrong thing. Got it. So yeah, Nintendo does not make that thing. Games with gold.
I would be New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is
Sunshine
games
Extra
with
Plus.
Wouldn't that be something if they just announced their first game coming to an Xbox platform and it's just a games with gold version of a Mario game?
I'd play it.
Of course. Just if nothing else for the novelty factor of playing a Nintendo game on somebody else's system.
Yep.
But no, games with gold from Microsoft. 4 games this month. Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter is one. Mm-hmm. Will be available all month long, so you can download it at any point. The Final Station, which I have never heard of. I have no idea what that game is. Available from November 16th through December 15th. And Star Wars Jedi Starfighter.
Ooh,
that's a cool game.
Will be available for the first 2 weeks on both Xbox One and 360. So whichever Xbox system you would want to play it on, you can. And then Joyride Turbo is the other one.
Joyride Turbo looks pretty cool.
That will be available on both Xbox One and 360 on the second half of November. So there you go. Those are your games with gold and your PlayStation Plus. Nintendo has not announced any more games coming to Switch Online. So when they said, hey, don't expect any games regularly, they meant it. It's been 2 months now and nothing. So
we'll install our own games and play those.
That's right. I'm playing Luigi's Mansion. That's the only game I need to pay attention to right now. So I am going to propose a question
toast.
of the week. No, not a toast.
Oh, with
I'm
real
out
toast.
I'm out of my drink. I've just got some watered down.
No, you propose a toast and you give everyone a slice of bread.
Oh, okay. But I don't know where everybody lives, so I can't bring them bread.
It'd be like the weirdest thing for people, and then they would understand when you say a toast.
So, this week for listener feedback, I want to ask the listeners a question. I've put this on the Facebook page. This will be our question of the week for next week that people can respond to. And I'll ask you guys right now, what franchise would you like to see get some holiday-themed DLC, and what holiday would it be for?
Time to look up obscure holidays.
I don't know. I mean, my favorite game has every holiday included.
Yeah, Animal Crossing doesn't count.
Animal Crossing totally counts.
It gets DLC for every holiday already.
Yep.
So what about like some Christmas themed Metroid DLC? Ridley in a Santa hat.
As long as it's all free, I don't want to have to pay money for weird cosmetics. Like, I'd be okay if they added some really cool holiday stuff to like a Forza Horizon game or something.
Yeah.
Like fill the whole map with like Christmas trees and snowmen and stuff like that.
Okay.
It'd be pretty cool.
I know a lot of games that are online multiplayer focused do a lot of holiday DLC, like Brawlhalla. They get character themed skins. Paladins does that. So you'll get special skins around the holidays that you can get for characters that are all themed around whatever that holiday is. I was thinking like some Christmassy themed, snowy themed Mario levels that you could download. Like a DLC pack for Mario Odyssey that is. I mean, we already have a snow level, but something like that would be. What obscure holiday are you looking at, Ethan?
Peach month.
Peach month.
August is Peach month.
Okay. So you just want peach themed DLC?
I mean, it's like take whatever current Mario game is out and like there's just more Peach.
How about they just release Super Princess Peach HD for Switch in Peach month?
That works too.
Yeah,
and it comes with I Am Daisy DLC.
But it's just a trash can that runs around the screen.
Oh, Shelby will beat the crap out of you for that.
I'd play that. Like, I really, really liked Super Princess Peach. I thought that was a really fun game. I would love to see that game come back.
Oh, you know what? August also has Sister's Day.
Okay.
So that I mean, the Daisy and Peach thing kind of works. They're not sisters in the traditional sense, but
they're royalty sisters.
Yeah.
National Bobblehead Day is in January. We could have some bobblehead DLC for some games.
Oh, what is this holiday? Hold on a second. Oh, never mind. It's boring.
National Cuddle Up Day is in January. You could just have a dedicated hug button added to every single game ever. Instead of just a boy and his blob.
Oh, wait. There's hold on a second. Okay. October is Adopt a Shelter Dog month. So, every game gets DLC to add dog petting. So you can pet the dog in every game.
What if the game doesn't have a dog?
It adds a dog, you can get to pet it, and that's the last you'll ever see it.
Just on that day, and then it disappears?
Well, month.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the Adopt a Shelter Dog is for a whole month.
That's true.
Actually, it's all day, every year, every time, because...
I don't have a dog, though.
No, I'm saying, like, adopt shelter dogs, don't buy dogs, adopt. What is it, adopt, don't shop?
I don't know. I don't have a pet, can't have a pet, so I'm not looking for a pet.
Didn't you used to have, like, 20 cats?
At one point, I had 12 cats because
Oh,
my cats had babies, and then we had to get rid of them.
Aw.
Yeah, because I'm not feeding 12 cats. So, there you go. So yeah, what games would you like to see get some holiday-themed DLC, and what would that DLC be? Let us know. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter. You'll get all of those fun addresses here in just a few minutes. So, thank you, Ethan, for being on the show this week.
You're welcome.
I think I just did this backwards.
You did, that's why I was confused.
I did, and thank you, Shannon, for being on the show.
Pleasure as always.
If you want to reach out to us, we have new ways to do so. You can email us at procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/pgent. Patreon supporters get the video version of the podcast a day early. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel, and we still have that famous Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.